Student athletes Kalia Copper, Tyler Scaife, and Shrita Parker. Is Coach coming? Did I mispronounce your name?
No, you said it right. She's on the way.
Huh?
It's Scaife. It's French.
Scaife, yeah. Rhymes with safe.
Yep.
That's what it says here on the guide.
You're safe with Scaife.
Is Coach coming?
Yeah, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming. Damn. Coach. She's coming through the alley.
Okay.
The alley.
Good. All right, we're joined with Coach Stringer. Coach, if you would, you make an opening comment, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Well, first of all, I mean, Nebraska played a great game. I was extremely proud of our team, mainly because we've had problems in the fourth quarter, but in this case, we didn't blink. And what you guys will be happy to know is we had 8 turnovers, period.
Hey.
Only 8. 16, and some of them who actually had the assists were real happy about that, namely Kalia Copper. And then something that most of us are used to seeing is a lot of block shots from Rachel. She didn't have the block shots, but she had 10 rebounds, and that's what we asked her to do. So what we clearly did what we had to do to win the game. So it was a great team effort. Everybody hung in there down to the last second because we've lost a couple of games by 2 and 3 points in overtime. So it was a very rewarding and exciting win.
Thank you, Coach. Now, if you would raise your hand, we'll take questions for the student athletes right here.
Shrita, you had some pretty clutch free throws there at the end. How great does it feel to come up like that for your team?
Question for Shrita.
It feels great. I mean, I always prepare myself for these type of situations. But yeah, it felt amazing. One of the best feelings in the world.
Right over here.
Go with Tyler. Talk about, Coach mentioned over here, your fourth quarter problems of late. What changed going into this quarter? What did you do different that got you over the hump tonight?
Tyler.
Well, if we lose, we got to go home. So I don't think nobody was ready to go home. So we just fought to the end.
Right back here.
Kalia, we saw you take off the mask about halfway through the second quarter. Was that just a comfort thing, or what was going on there?
Kalia.
The possession before that, it was a rebound that I missed, and I knew I could have had it, and so I just had to take the mask off, and I just had to start getting busy.
Questions, please, right here.
For Shrita, when you were down by the margin you were, did some of that start to creep into your mind about the struggles you've had of late, wondering, oh no, here we go again?
Shrita.
Yeah. Well, like when we practicing, we always practice on everybody guarding Tyler and Kai, and they always leave me and Bree open, and I took advantage of it tonight.
Questions, please. Is that it for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, you can go back to the locker room. Thank you. And we'll continue for Coach Stringer.
Good job. Assist.
Right here.
Coach, kind of the same question I asked Shrita. Did some of that start going through your mind in the fourth quarter about some of the problems you've had of late when Nebraska had the lead?
Well, yeah, it crossed my mind, but I wanted to make sure I did what I could to shake them out of that nightmare, just to remind them we've been here before. So, and I think that realization came, as Tyler said, because we've been hurt too many times. We've got about 4 or 5 games that really, it could have gone one way, one way or the other, and we were on the wrong end of that. And so we know what time it is, and quite frankly, probably throughout this entire year, there's been only one game that I feel like we played to what I would consider a Scarlet Knight basketball game, and that was the last game. And so it's better late than never. And as long as we knew what that felt like, We got anxious at one particular point in the game when we may have made 1 or 2 passes and then we were shooting the ball. So we didn't even give Nebraska an opportunity to make a mistake. Generally, that's what happens, or they get tired. Because we got anxious, it was like you're in a drowning boat, and then you start to grab the one life preserver that you have, and everybody's trying to grab onto that. But that's not how we were and have been able to overcome deficits or to overcome, the issues that we've been having. So I thought that we settled down. We're reminded of we've been there before. We can't let this happen again. And everybody needed to, really buckle down and play some great defense, get the rebound, and work much better on the offensive execution side of things.
Right here.
Coach Stringer, you've had 2 tough losses against Ohio State this year. Do you think that gives you or your players any extra motivation to really come out and put up a great performance tomorrow night?
Well, it's like this. I mean, anytime you play an opponent, you want to have a great performance. Ohio State is an outstanding team. So it gives me no pleasure to play someone that you're going to, beat by 40 or 50 points. That's a joke. This makes your back straight and it makes you anxious, like you can't even sit in your seat, anxious to play a team of that caliber. They're well coached, just a great team, and it gives us a chance to measure ourselves. And the game is 40 minutes, so it doesn't matter whether it was Ohio State or Maryland or UConn or anyone else, to be able to play when your back is against the wall. You got 40 minutes. You play or you go home. Simple as that. And you find out what you're made of. You don't have any excuse because that's not the time. That's when you gather together and play. So it was nice to see the way we handled ourselves today. Now, that Nebraska is not Ohio State. But on the other hand, I think that this is the experience that we needed. And we're hopefully able to transfer that experience to the situation that we're going to have tomorrow.
Right here.
Coach, you've been in these situations before where you've been the team that has to beat a team for a 3rd time in a season. Is there an edge mentally either way in that situation?
Well, you're right. And not only that, I've been in the situation where we've had 2 days of a bye, and so how sharp can you be? But given that we just played extremely hard, I sort of would like to have had, fresh legs. But on the other hand, it's kind of nice to be able to have played, know what it feels like, and adapt to that atmosphere. But you're exactly right. I think that people can take it for granted that just because you've won 2 times, it's easier. I'm sure the coach will do whatever he needs to do to motivate them and help them to understand that very well could make a difference in terms of where they're seated with the NCAAs. And quite frankly, with great athletes, they don't know how to play anyway less than their best. So our challenge to our team is going to be to recognize and help them to believe, because I do believe that with all my heart, that if we play our best game now, we can't come in there halfway, but if we're playing our best game, we've got just as good a chance as Ohio State does, in winning, and we've got to, bring it. Simple as that. They are a great team, but we have got to bring it. I live for these kind of situations, and I'm hoping that our team lives for that, and I have a feeling that we do.
Got time for a couple more for Coach? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Coach. See
Thank you.
tomorrow.